Alright, number 1, it says the first step of this is to use inverse operations to isolate x squared. So here's x squared. What are we going to need to do to get that by itself? Add 81, okay? So x squared equals what? 0 plus 81? 81. Okay, step 1 is use inverse operations to isolate x squared. Is x squared by itself on one side of the equal sign? Yes. What's the next step then? Take the square root. Square root. If you don't know the square root of 81, you need to know where the button is on your calculator. Square root 81 is perfect, so you might know it, but it is 9. So x equals 9. What did I already forget? I also need a negative 9. Because 9 squared is 81, but negative 9 squared is also 81, okay? Sometimes you will see it written this way, and you can write it this way. That means x equals both a positive and a negative 9. So you will see it either written as two separates, or as this one together, but all of that means the same thing. No. Alright, number 2. How do we isolate x squared? Add 180, okay. So 5x squared equals 180. Then what? X squared equals and then do what? What is the square root of 36? And I need to write x equals positive 6, x equals negative 6. Write them both. You can use the little shortcut if you want to. I want you guys to try 3 and 4 on your own. Right, number 3. What'd you guys do first? You did what? You subtracted 48. And you got 3x squared equals negative 48. Then what'd you do? Divide by 3. And what did you get? Negative 16. So then what'd you do? Did anybody type that in because they didn't know what the answer to square root of negative 16 was? I want you to type it in there. It says error. And what does the error say? Because the error actually will tell you what's going on. It says non-real answer. What do you think that means? The negative messes it up. What two numbers multiplied together give you a, what, like, positive 4 times positive 4 is what? 16. Is it negative 16? What's negative 4 times negative 4? Positive 16. It's not negative 16. No real solution. Your calculator knows it's non-real. All that means is not next year, when you're a junior and you're in Algebra 2, you're going to learn about something called imaginary numbers. Then it's okay to have a negative square root. It is not now. So anytime you get to this point where you're ready to take the square root, and you have a negative, you're just going to write no real solution. You guys did it perfectly right up to that point. And it's always the very end that you have to decide. Everybody else got number 4 right, though, from what I've seen. What'd you guys do on number 4? So negative 9x squared equals negative 441. Okay, then what? So see, even on this one, you see how it was negative here? Will it be negative when we get to the end? No, because it's going to undo that. What's negative 441 divided by negative 9? Okay, then what? X equals negative 7, x equals positive 7. So see, the negatives canceled each other out there. Negative divided by negative became a positive. So that's why it's like that. We are going to do the bottom type tomorrow, not today. So we're going to go ahead and glue this in and then keep your notebook out because we're going to write in it. But I've got to see what page we're on. You probably know faster than I do. Page 114. So glue, that's page 114. The title is 22.1. Solving quadratics by taking the square root. And keep your notebook open because we're going to write on 115. Okay. On 115, same title. We're going to do 4 more. I'll say we're going to do. You're going to do 4 more. Let's go ahead on 115. And write x squared minus 25 equals 0. That's number 1. Number 2, negative 3x squared equals 27. Number 3, x squared over 2 equals 50. And number 4, 3x squared minus 20 equals 88. Let's go ahead and try those. We'll talk about them in a few minutes. Okay, what did you guys do on number 1? What do you need to do on number 1 to solve that? Add 25 to both sides. What is 25 plus 0? So x squared equals 25. Then what do you need to do? Take the square root. So x equals positive 5, negative 5. You can either write it once as plus and minus 5, or you can write x equals 5, x equals negative 5. I don't care which way. I'll grade them either way. All right, how about number 2? What is 27 divided by negative 3? What do I need to do now? When I take the square root and I have that negative, I know I have no real solutions. Some of you are putting N or S. That's fine. You have to have the real part, because you need to know that later you will actually solve these when they're imaginary. How about number 3? What do we do when we have a fraction like that? Multiply, because it's actually a dividing operation. So x squared equals, what's 50 times 2? Okay, now what am I going to do? Square root. What is the square root of 100? Positive negative 10. Perfect. Alright, number 4, last but not least, what am I going to do? Add 20. 3x squared equals, now what? X squared equals, now, okay. So like I said, you might have decimals on your homework. If you have decimals, I want you to round to the 100th place. How many is that? 2 decimal places. Round to the 100th place. If you have decimals, that's fine. You will have some decimals. Your homework, not homework, you have enough time to finish these in class. And if you do finish them in class, you need to start some of the makeup work I gave you. You are doing page 1000. And 39. You are doing 4 through 9 today. There's not a lot of them, which means you need to be good at them.